today as a private citizen, probably the most conservative guy here on the Capitol grounds. I'm here to talk to you about the Pledge of Allegiance we just did, declaring independence from kings, and today's 250th anniversary of the U.S. Army's congressional authorization. The student leader of the day sang the Pledge of Allegiance over the PA system every morning to start the school day. That's right, I'm a boomer. We also had to memorize the preamble to the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and the complete Gettysburg Address all before the school's Thanksgiving Day parade. You know, up until a couple of years ago, I did not give much thought to the words indivisible, liberty, and justice for all. I pretty much took it for granted that all patriotic Americans believed it. However, a couple of years ago, the Megan Congresswoman from Georgia started spouting off an anti-American idea of the national wars between red and blue states. This undoubtedly violates the pledge of indivisible. In her own oath of office to support and defend the Constitution, it clearly states the purpose of the Constitution was to form a more perfect union. While it hasn't gained much traction outside of Megan world, it does demonstrate that pledges, oaths, and honor mean nothing to Trump and his supporters. Which brings us to the liberty for the cause, liberty and justice for all cause. What is liberty? Liberty is the state of being free from constraint or oppression, encompassing freedom of action, freedom of choice, freedom of expression. Freedom! Constitution is spelled out in the Bill of Rights. But as the Ninth Amendment points out, just because it's not in the Constitution doesn't mean we don't have those rights. Like the right to privacy. The state has no right to know what goes on in our homes, and our doctor's offices are in our lawyers' offices. According to Google AI, justice in its broadest sense is about fairness, equality, and impartiality of how people are treated, both by the law and within society. How people, no matter their citizenship status, are treated. Wherever this flag flies, that means people, no matter their nationality, race, creed, sex, or color of skin, or the people who they love, are protected by the rule of law. Shall deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. In its jurisdiction for equal protections of the law. If we do not follow the rule of law, we all suffer under the yoke of tyranny. Our founding fathers knew something about tyranny. I suspect, like many of you, I did not read the whole Declaration of Independence beyond what I had to memorize in the 5th grade to the line of, that to secure these rights, government to its children among men, rather than just partisan and second men. It's all about the high school students. The Declaration of Independence not only sets forth the concept that all men are created equal and the governmental powers accompanying the intended government, but it listed the unjust actions of King George III of England. Detailed why our forefathers rebelled against the king. If you have not read the whole Declaration, I'm sure Trump and his cult has never heard it. Here are a few highlights beyond the preamble illustrating how Trump is acting like King George. Trump, like King George, states he's above the law. King George may in some colonial legislature, though Trump has yet to dissolve state legislature, routinely ignore states' rights and issues executive orders superseding state legislation, and as seen this past week, federalizes state national guard units based on his own political interests. This move is an assault on the checks and balances provided by our federal system. King George limited immigration to the colonies, prevented the colonies from expanding westward. Trump and his cult do not believe the United States is the land of opportunity. They do not believe in the inscription at the base of the statue insulting women, insulting other countries, to give me your tired, your poor, your humble bastards willing to free Trump is just using illegal immigration as a wedge issue that doesn't exist. Just as there were immigrants eating cats and dogs, there was no invasion of illegal immigrants in the U.S. under the Biden administration over the past 20 years. He is creating a crisis so he can declare martial law. Suspend habeas corpus and the Constitution so he can stay in power until he dies in office. Trump is a draft dodging power. Like King George, Trump has given the police total indemnity, protecting them from punishment for abusing their power. King George detained and imprisoned people without trials. That's why we have the 4th and 5th Amendment. Trump's mass deportations and detentions simply violates our Bill of Rights. Final quote from the Declaration of Independence. A prince whose character is thus marked by every act which may define a tyrant is unfit to be the ruler of the world.
Because you don't have the microphone close enough. You keep walking away from it.
Today, in addition to celebrating Flag Day, we celebrate our Army's 250th anniversary. Having served 10% of that anniversary, I think I know what to talk about. Our anniversary is, of course, the first Continental Congress authorized American freedom, Southwest, tyrannical day, provide for common defense, and secure the West.
Sir.
Well, our Army has a proud history and is not without warts. Today, we proudly celebrate the accomplishments of the men and women that have served our Army since 1775. At the same time, our senior military leaders made work for past mistakes to make sure not to make this state mistakes again. Deploying U.S. personnel to quell domestic protests has a spotty history. The decision to deploy U.S. troops domestically needs to be a values-based decision for national security and not in support of a partisan political attack.
Apparently, this microphone don't go
A
high.
reminder to our officer corps. Your oath is to the Constitution, not to the President or the political party. To the Constitution and by extension to the American people. Our honor code, our oath of office, our service values inform our values-based decision making. Our honor code states, I will not lie, cheat, or steal, or tolerate those that do. Our oath of office requires that I solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. And I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. And that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Chief of Acting. So help me God. Our Army and the other services have similar stated values of loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage should inform our decision-making process. A couple more reminders for the officers in our military stations around the world, especially at the Pentagon. Just as Eisenhower wrote in the message, the eyes of the world are upon you. Hopes and prayers of liberty-loving people and will march with you.
I think that guy's got a Vanderbilt hat on.
Do not let our Army become renegades. Also, Sun Tzu, an ancient Chinese
I don't know that
philosopher and strategist, reminds
He
us,
looks blue collar. It's
an
probably
evil
first.
man will burn his nation to the ground to remove the ash.
You start yelling.
Donald J. Trump has no honor. He ignores his presidential oath, and his actions throughout his life demonstrates he has no value. Donald J. Trump is nothing if not even
That sign. Protect biomedical research.
not let an evil man bring our Constitution, our republic, or our country to the ground. No kings, no dictators, not even for one day. No kings, no dictators. No kings, no dictators. No kings, no dictators.